So welcome back, and let's check what we said last week, last Friday as usual, about Bitcoin, gold and silver. Let's start with Bitcoin and the bid right here, sorry. Let's listen it again. The update of August 15 about Bitcoin. And it started to push higher, higher and higher. So Bitcoin is creating this rising wedge pattern that could means that soon it will be ready to go all the way back and lose all its gains should it fails this area, which is now being marked by the middle area of the Bollinger Band. So this rising wedge is very bad signal for Bitcoin because bad signal August 15. Let's continue playing it. The update of last Friday. Bitcoin is failing to push above 24.7k in a daily basis. 24.7k, it failed. So we warned in advance that this was going to be a very bearish, or the risk was to the downside because gold, silver, everything was failing to bust the resistance. What is going on? We still are in the middle of the rate hike cycle. Crude oil is failing. There are engulfing bearish signals, and we have all the reverse repo operations, 2 trillion by the Federal Reserve, removing and adding pressure. What happened with the last biggest reverse repo operations? It took down gold pretty fast. So this was the idea, and all this is a very crazy inflationary scenario because this type of things don't happen in Argentina. You don't get an inflationary environment, and all the trades get cancelled. So all the inflationary trends are being cancelled by monetary action. That's what happened in Argentina 5 years ago when they started to increase interest rates and they control inflation temporarily, but that strategy failed. What's going on now is that we have epic high inflation in Europe, and we have increasing interest rates in the United States and lower interest rates in the rest of the world, creating a carry trade and enforcing the US dollars, and the Federal Reserve is much more aggressive than Japan or Europe. And there are also emerging markets crashing and in panic, like Turkey with 80% inflation. Argentina is 60, heading to between 80 and 90% inflation at the end of the year. So the fear in the emerging markets are still there, and there also we are seeing failure in crypto exchange, more pressure, more regulatory pressure coming to the cryptocurrency market, and the market is feeling that. So I try to find more pivots for gold, Bitcoin and silver, and check that from multiple time frames to see some hints, and the hints show up. So if you check the last update of last week, we were warning that everything was failing. Seriously, you don't get this type of reversals in an inflationary economy. So all the risk-on inflation trades are being cancelled, and that will create fear of deflation, at least a temporary deflation. So the Fed is giving warnings that they will move ahead, and in 30 days they will keep pushing up to the level of 3% the USD 1 month LIBOR rate. At least the market is pricing that we will go there. At the same time, I have just said that they are using reverse repo operations. They are taking money from the open banking, from the markets and from the banking level, and removing liquidity. So they are moving ahead. At least that's what they are doing now, and the charts are confirming that. So let's go back for more hints. The action in Bitcoin is showing a complete failure by starting to look a bit oversold. I'm moving now. Let me move myself a bit here. Sorry. Oh my. Oh, I'm going down. Yes, I'm going moving. Let's focus on the chart. So if you see here that the level of showing up now, I have to add a new level, which is 20.800 as the new level. Should we cross now? The chart is looking a bit oversold here. It's looking a bit oversold. Let me configure that. Yes, if you see here, the level is, let me move here. You see here, the bit is showing a bit oversold, and we should get back, at least recover that lower band, but the lower Bollinger Band for a while, maybe the weekend. But the outlook is quite bad because you may recover a bit, but if you change the time frame, you will see that here this week canceled 3 consecutive weeks of the past, 3 consecutive weeks. So you have a lower, you have almost a target of 400 points, 400 USD, 400 US dollars, and then you get canceled all the way back to 18. So now the target for Bitcoin should be this level of 20.8. 20.8, that will be a very important trigger. Let me show you here in the daily charts. It's pointing to that exact level, 28.836. And this is like a very important level. The odds are against this level, so I am most likely bearish for this level because we are failing to respect the signals that could provide support, and the monthly charts are not giving any signal at all that we could stop anywhere. The daily charts are giving just that the Bitcoin looks quite oversold, but should continue to go down in the weekly charts. That's the fact. Gold is also canceling very heavily, so you don't get this type of cancelings in Argentina with high inflation. So if you get this type of returns in a country like Argentina, you get destroyed because you can't afford your savings with an asset that is going nowhere and the price of food exploding. But so this is quite a mess for being an inflationary trade. I'm drinking mate, sorry. And if you see the price of silver, the price of silver is also giving a very nasty movement with a crazy hammer, and the bearish candle in the monthly chart is engulfing a great part of this hammer. So let's go all the way to the here. You see the price action is silver is showing that 19 is the level, and we are closing there, and it really looks pretty weak in the daily charts. So what is the resistance now for silver? Well, you know now is 30 cents lower, so we are pretty close to the lows. What is showing the monthly charts that you went all the way up believing in inflation for 2 years with all the money printing, and then you get trashed all the way back to the area of 2013. That's the problem with silver, that you got cancelled all the way and go back to the area of this is very important area of support. So what happens if silver fails here? All, well, that would mean complete collapse of silver all the way back, and everything is possible for silver if they fail the 1848, and so far the charts are not giving a signal that silver could go below that level. So there is no information whatsoever that we could go below that level. Not in the monthly charts, not in the weekly or in the daily charts. So worst case scenario so far is we only can say that this is the level we should see for silver with all this hawkish environment and bullish for the USD. That's the fact for silver. Let's going back for gold. There is also no signals in the charts, but we could go below this area of 1700. There is no more signal than that, and so far gold is about to get exhausted with this very bearish channel, or this trend. It looks like they're going to get exhausted, and there is no signal that could go below this level so far, but quite looks bearish so far. Going back to Bitcoin, the let's go lower and lower. There is showing some resistance, so we should recover a bit and retrace a bit that level. But the weekly chart is completely a mess. So we have only now it keeps going down. So we were right, and we warned in the last update about the gaps in Bitcoin that we coded. We detected that if you check that there is a jump of 1.0003% factor from the previous 1 minute candle, and you get that gap, that's a bullish signal. So don't forget to recheck the update that will be of the last week right here. So you will check that there is a continuity in this update of the last week. Thank you very much.